I'd like to say thank you for your time. I'll be starting to do my capstone project on Fundthis investment on Facebook. So here we're going to look at the table of contents. We're going to be starting off with the problem statement. Then we're going to go a little bit about the company, the mission, and general statistics about the company, organizational structure, Facebook's corporate social responsibility, the financial analysis, the acquisitions made, and the bad side of Facebook, and finally the conclusion. So to not get this mixed up in any way, for me, the Capstone project was creating, well, not creating, as the professor asked me to do, um, per se, working for a company called Fundthis. So this is a company that I made up in the paper. So basically, it's an investment firm, and the company to analyze is Facebook. If we look here, the reasons opposing the investment, scandals and financial viability. My role in this project is I am the project manager for this made up company called Fundthis, and I have a client that came to me and he would like to know whether or not Facebook would be a good investment in terms of returns for him. Um, if you look about the company, Facebook. So their mission states that it's to give people the power to build a community and bring the world closer together through the use of their platform, as well as to discover what's going on in the world. This is actually directly from their website, and it's true. Nowadays, we can all see that Facebook is not only a platform where you upload pictures and videos of your loved ones, but it's also a place where news is dealt is given, on a daily basis. If you look at the general statistics, we can see that Facebook has 2.1 billion monthly active users, which is incredible. 79% of Americans use the platform. We can also see that over 50 million businesses use Facebook to promote their companies. And Facebook is really known for selling marketing and advertisement space as well. The company offers the platform in over excuse me, 101 languages. Um, it's very diverse. It's reaching a lot of people. I mean, it is, if not the biggest social media platform in the world. Um, as I mentioned before, it's the most important social platform for advertising marketers, and 26% of Facebook users made a purchase on advertisement they saw on the website, which is incredible in my opinion. So if we look at the organizational structure, it's a mix between a traditional structure and a non-traditional structure, and you'll see this on the next slide. So here we have at the top the chairman and CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, who is linked directly to the brand design, CIO, corporate development, communication, and marketing, and it all just goes down. Like I said, it's very traditional versus non-traditional, and this structure is due to the quick changes in technology that happen. We live in an era where technology is run on a daily basis, meaning that there's always someone that's coming out with something more innovative every moment, and this is an aggressive market to be in. So if we look at Facebook's corporate social responsibility, so this is something when a client would like to invest in the company, they'd also like to see what the company is doing for their employees and for the environment. So Facebook does support local communities. They When I say support local communities, that's the the community that they're headquartered in. So basically, they built a community garden for the residents, and what they do with that is they produce fresh produce, fresh food basically, and fruits, vegetables, and whatnot, and give back to the community. Employee health and safety, they provide their employees with healthy food, restaurants, and places to snap. The environment, the company prides itself on using renewable energy resources. They'd like to set themselves apart from the others within the industry and initiatives. So they encourage their employees to pollute less by initiating carpools, so they could all ride together to reduce the footprint. And they have a strong push towards public transportation, and they offer bikes at office. And like I said, these are some just some of the examples that excuse me, some of the examples that are given, or else there'd be a really long list on it. So here we have the financial analysis. This is what it all comes down to, in my opinion. So instead of looking at short-term trends, we're going to be looking at long-term trends, which in my opinion dictate how the company will unfold itself in the future. So we have the revenue. This is the selected income statement, the long-term trend. So we can see that revenue, income from operations, and net income has all been increasing year over year. So basically, this gives them a very positive long trend for the company and its viability financially. Here we can see the selected asset items, so the long-term assets. So we can see that there's a positive increase occurring year over year. There are some jumps that can be seen in, technically here you can see them in 2013, but they acquired Instagram in 2012, but they could only write it off in the end of 2012 or 2013. So that's where you can see that jump. Also, you can also see a jump in the total assets, and this is when they acquired WhatsApp. Um, I'm sorry, previously I mentioned that they acquired Instagram in 2012, but yeah, you can see it go up in 2013 because I have to write it off. And then they bought WhatsApp in 2014, so that's another jump. Sorry for the miscommunication there. Um, Here we have the liabilities and stockholders' equity. So current liabilities and total debt remain stagnant, while total liabilities and stockholders' equity, so the green line, keeps on growing. So basically, what it's saying is this company has enough capital to relieve themselves of any debt and liabilities, while the stockholders receive their share, meaning that the company possesses enough capital to get them out of sticky situations. Um, Here we can see so the selected cash flow. So the net cash used in investing activities decreased, so the red line, and net cash provided by financing activities, yellow line, decreased, but the net cash provided operating activities, blue line, increased. So what it's trying to say is Facebook has yet started, it's supposed to be, has not yet started digging into their investment money made through Instagram and WhatsApp just yet. So basically, they're using the capital and the revenue from Facebook itself that it generates. Acquisition. So this is a big one. So they acquired WhatsApp in 2014 for $19 billion. Instagram in 2012 for 1 billion. The Oculus Rift, which is a virtual reality video game, video game mogul, in 2014 for 2 billion, which includes a total of $22 billion, meaning that the company possesses enough capital to buy out its competitors, which is a really interesting point, and they'll always remain ahead of their industry because they're always branching out into different sectors. So the bad side of Facebook, I'm not going to touch up on this a lot, but since it's been everywhere in the media, so I'm just going to give you 3 points. So the information that Facebook said was private and protected actually was not. A company called Cambridge Analytica had access to nearly 87 million users' data, and the data from Cambridge Analytica was used by politicians to influence votes. Like I said, I will not brush up on this. This has been in the media for the past, I would say, eight months on a nonstop basis, especially here in Europe. So the conclusion. So I'd like to conclude that the scandal did affect the stock price by 60%, which it did plummet. But at the end of the day, Facebook remains a leader in its industry. It's a powerhouse financially, so they're not going to receive any harm through the damage that happened with the scandal. It's a viable company. It's a very viable company. Stocks are if you look at the stock market nowadays, you can see that the stocks are starting to be stagnant and starting to grow. So in terms of my client, as I did say that I was a project manager for Fundthis, I would suggest my client to invest in the company based on the financial performance and what the company has to offer.